Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a complete Blogger tutorial for beginners. I will show you how to create a professional free blog with Blogger, from signing up to your free Blogger account, customizing the homepage and the theme of your blog, creating your blog articles and making them look extremely professional, and all of the other features that you need to know. So even if you have never created a blog before, all you have to do is follow along with this tutorial and you will walk away with a beautiful blog that you created on Blogger. The first thing that you need to do is head over to blogger.com right here, and it's going to take you over to this page. So all we need to do is click on create your blog in the middle right here. Then we can choose a Google account to sign in with. So I'm just going to choose this one right here, and it's then going to ask us to create a title for our blog. Now, my blog is going to be about coffee, so I'm going to call this GeForce Coffee. So we just enter the name of the blog in here. Then we can click on next. And now we can choose a URL for this blog. So essentially, the end of the domain is going to be .blogspot.com, but we can enter anything in before. So in here, I'm just going to call this GeForce Coffee. And now my domain for this blog is going to be geforcecoffee.blogspot.com. So once that is filled in, we can click on next, and it's then going to ask for your display name. So this is going to be the name displayed to the readers of your blog. So you can either enter in your name as the author of this blog, or you can just enter like the company name. So I'm going to type in GeForce North. Then we can click on finish, and just like that, we now have our Blogger account created. Now, we can view the blog that we currently have by clicking on this button in the bottom left corner. However, when we go over to the blog, of course, there's nothing there yet because we haven't added anything yet. So let's go ahead and do that now. The first thing that we can do is change the theme of this blog. So if I actually open this back up, we can see the theme right here is kind of like a mountain, and then we have white around here. But if we come over here and click into theme on this left-hand side, this is where we can change the theme of our blog. So we have these designs right here under Contempo, Soho, and we have a load more. And one thing I would say about this area is don't worry about the images that pop up. So a lot of people would think if I'm creating a coffee blog, then I would want to go for this template. But don't worry about that because we can change all of the images out. Instead, what you want to be looking for is the way that this design is laid out, as well as the colors. So I'm actually going to stick with Contempo and then choose this design right here. Once you have found the theme that you would like, all we have to do is click into this. And then before we apply this, let's go ahead and customize. In here, this is where we can change the image along the top. So the image right now is kind of like plants and flowers. It doesn't really fit my blog very well. So I'm going to grab a coffee image. If you need images for your blog, I would recommend this website right here called Pexels. As you can see, this offers the best stock photos and royalty-free images. So all we have to do is go in, and I can search for like coffee, if I can spell this right. And then this is a landscape image. So I'm going to go here and set the filters to landscape. Now I think this image would fit perfect. So I'm just going to download this image right here. Then we can go back over to our blog, go to change image on this left-hand side. Then I can choose the image that I want to drop in here. Click on done, and perfect. We now have this as the background. We can then choose the main theme color. So right now this is an orange, but I would prefer this to be a little bit lighter. Maybe something like this. Awesome. Now this is really starting to look like a coffee blog just off the theme alone. Once we have this all set up, we can click on this save button in the bottom right corner, and those changes are now saved. So we can back out to the main menu. And now if we go back to the blog and hit refresh, we can see this is now updated, and although we still have no content, the theme is now here. So let's go back and let's now start adding in some content. To do this, we can click on new post in this top left corner, and this is now going to take us over to this area where we can create a post for our blog. It's very easy to do. We simply click into kind of like the paper that you see in the middle of the screen. And then you can either start typing out your blog, or alternatively, if you already have a blog post written, you can just copy and paste it into here. So this blog is going to be about the best coffee beans of 2024. So I'm going to start typing the top 5 coffee beans of 2024. Now we definitely want to use these options at the top, and at the top right here, we can format the text to add titles, to add highlights, to add links, and everything like that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure this title is in the middle. To do this, I can go up to align and then align this in the center. I also want this text to be bigger, so I'm going to go to the font size on this left-hand side and make this large. And then maybe we can also add a bold and underline to this. Perfect. We now have a title. Then I can click on enter to drop down into this next area. I'm going to align myself back to the left. Make sure my font size is back on normal. And now I can start typing out the rest of my blog. I now have my blog article written. We can once again use this top bar if you want to change the text color for any areas, if you want to highlight any text. But most importantly, we can actually insert some images right here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Underneath each of these coffee beans that I mentioned, I want to insert an image. So let's go in here and I can drop down, go to the image icon right here. So we can click on insert image and then upload from computer. And then we want to choose the files that we want to upload. So I'm going to go in and choose my first image of these coffee beans. Then once this fully loads in, I can select this, click on select. That image is now loaded in. We can adjust the size using these buttons on the side or these squares. So we can click and then drag in to make it smaller, just like that, or drag out to make it bigger. We can also choose the alignment down here at the bottom. However, what you will usually find is if we align this to the left, it's going to kind of mess up the format. You can get around this by simply making the image take up the entire space, just like that, and that looks pretty good to me. Let's now go down and add in the second image. So once again, we will add a space there, add an image, upload from computer, choose files, and now let's upload the next photo of these coffee beans. Then we can select this, add this in, align this to the left, and drag this the entire way. And that is now added in. Before we go ahead and publish this, there are a few other changes that we need to make. Most importantly is adding a title to this. So I'm going to call this the top 5 coffee brands or coffee beans of 2024. Just like that, my title is now added. And then over here on post settings, we can change a few things here. So first of all, we can add labels. Now, labels are going to come in handy when you are creating a lot of different blog articles and you want to separate them into different areas. So, for example, on my coffee blog, if I have some articles about coffee beans and some articles about coffee creamers and then some articles about coffee equipment, I can sort these into different areas using labels. So I'm going to label this one as coffee beans. You can add multiple labels, and to do this, you just separate them with commas. But I'm just going to leave this one. We can then go down to published and choose the published date, the date that you wrote this. Under permalink, we can go to automatic permalink, which is essentially going to give your website this address. However, this looks terrible in my opinion. So I prefer to make a custom permalink. And in here, I'm just going to call this top 5 coffee beans. And that's going to give it a much nicer URL. Then we can go down to location. I never really add a location, but you can if you like. And then under options, we can just choose if we want readers to be able to make comments. I do, so I'm going to leave this as allow. Before you publish this, you can also preview your post, but I don't see any point right now. So I'm just going to publish this, click on confirm. And just like that, this post is now published. So I can now go back over to my blog and I can see on the main homepage of my blog, I can see the blog article is right here. To pull the full blog article up, I just click on read more. And this is going to take me over to my blog article. Now, I am noticing something that we didn't see in editing, and that is the fact that we do have some formatting issues right here. So let's go in and fix this. If you notice any mistakes on your blog, then don't worry. All we have to do is go to blog posts, find the blog article that you want to edit, and from here, we can simply click into this. Now we can go ahead and edit this. So let's make sure this takes up the full width and see if we still have that issue on both sides. And we will do it for this one as well. See if that issue remains. Then we can update. Go back to the blog article and refresh this. And it looks like this is still an issue. So that's not to worry. All I'm going to do is make these posts smaller and then align them in the center, just like this. Then I will do the same for this one. So make it smaller. And then we can align this in the center. Click on update. And with that done, with that editing out of the way, this blog article should now be looking a lot better. Perfect. So that is the blog article right there. So we now have the homepage of our blog that's going to show all of these blog articles. And the more you add, the more that are going to show here. And then to get into the main article, we can click read more. So let's back out. And then in here, we can see stats on this left-hand side. This is just going to show us all of the people who follow the blog, how many blog posts we have, and how many people have commented on our blog. We can then see all-time views for the blog, how many views today, how many views yesterday, this month, and last month. And then we can see charts right here. So we can see a chart of the latest post and how many views and comments it has, as well as the blog overall. This is over the last 7 days, and if we want to change this, we can choose from any of these timeframes. Next, let's go over to comments, and in this comment section, this is going to show you anytime somebody comments on your blog. We can sort this by all, awaiting moderation, published, and any spam comments. So if Blogger picks up on a comment that might be spam, it's going to auto filter it into the spam section, and from there you can choose whether you want to publish that on your blog. Then we can go down to earnings, so this is pretty exciting. But essentially with Blogger, Google are going to show ads on your blog. So if you're getting a lot of views and Google is able to show a lot of ads, you will be able to make money with this. We first of all need to create an AdSense account though. So we just click into create AdSense account. Then we can go through and sign up for an AdSense account right here. Once this is linked, you will then be able to earn money from your blog. We also have layout. So in here, you can choose the layout of your blog. Because although this can look confusing at first, it's actually pretty simple. So if we take a look here, sidebar top, we have about me. Sidebar top, we have about me. And then beneath this, we should have archive, labels, and report abuse. Then underneath this, at the bottom, we have archive, labels, and report abuse. Then at the top of the blog, we should have a search icon, which we do right here. We then have the header of the website, which is right here. Then we can see featured posts, blog posts, and everything like this. We can edit any of these sections. For example, the header right here. I can click into the header, click on this pencil icon, and then I can change this to say whatever I want it to say. So just as an example, I'm going to say subscribe if this helped, just like that. We can also add an image if you want to, but I will just leave this. And now if we refresh the blog, you can see that's going to update. We can then go down, we have things like ads, but you need to have an AdSense account connected in order to run these. So we will just ignore these for now. Then we can see the page body. So we have featured post, which is right here. We can click in and edit this. So we can choose if we want to show this widget, show the post title. If I turn this off and save, it's now going to remove the title right here. So if I refresh, that title is now gone. So that is how you can come in and edit the layout area. And then we can just click on save to save those changes. And that is how you can create a blog using Blogger. So that is my complete Blogger tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.